today Justin Thomas is shutting up all the haters. How many times do we hear this guy claim he's close and he's going to win real soon? Well, every time JT stumbled on the weekend, and it happened a lot, those boo birds got louder.
We've seen Chuck suffer through this entire season. He's watching his bitter rival be the #1 team in the country. Clark, that's like you watching Michigan get the #1 overall seed. What do you think Chuck's compartmentalizing in his head right now?
Well, I never want to try to figure out what's going on in my dear friend and colleague's head.
It would be so sweet. And I would try to play it down the middle. But if it got down to the last minute, and this game is, we know where it's going.
What do you care?
All bets are off. What do I care?
You know, you got to kind of give more than you take. Does that make sense?
Yeah. My first question to you tonight, the most important question, was not going to be about Bryce Young. It was going to be about, between now and the time he's born, whenever that is, what do I do to make sure I don't upset my wife and make her angry?
Hang on. Go ahead.
Steve, you're the only one who truly knew what it took to get out of a hospital bed and not only get on the course, but play championship golf. Were you surprised that this happened so quickly, to win a major by 6 shots again? And it might be a moniker to say it's a senior tour, but there's 8 Hall of Famers here this week. I think half your field has a major championship. I mean, it's tough to win out here, too.
Yeah, it is. Birmingham resident Sepp Straka had quite the day yesterday on the PGA Tour. The playoff with Will Zalatoris was absolutely electric. So I'm going to show you the whole thing in 1 minute. You ready? First playoff hole, number 18, pretty simple. Straka had a 20-footer for the win, blew it way past, had to make this knee knocker to extend the match. Second hole, still on 18, where it really got good. Zalatoris, an awful break off the car path. He's up against a fence. We have no idea if he can make a swing. Straka, not much better. Inches from going in the water, won't have a stance. So Zalatoris had to lay up. He did that. Straka took his shoes off, thought about getting in the pond, put them back on, took a penalty, hit his third shot to 6 feet. Willie Z had a must-make for par, drained it from 15 feet. Straka did the same, so we go to a third playoff hole, the par 3 11th. Zalatoris leaning right somehow stays out of the water. He's up against the rocks. He's in trouble. All Straka had to do, folks, was hit the middle of the green and he wins. Instead, he goes in the water. He makes double bogey. Now, back to Zalatoris. Ball basically in a crater. Debated the hero shot for 3 minutes. Realized it was impossible. Took the penalty, stuck the third shot to here, and the bogey putt to win the FedEx St. Jude Championship. Will Zalatoris finally a winner on the PGA Tour, all in 1 minute. I'm exhausted. Ashley, final check at weather.
Now I'll be doing weather in 20 seconds.
So, Sherry, everybody's going to tell you how ridiculous the stretch is for Scheffler, but I want to tell you about the best part, the part that nobody's talking about. Every time Scheffler won, we all said, okay, he's done. There is no way he can keep this up. The odds say it's impossible, right? Well, each win became more impressive than the one before it. Think about that for a second, despite the odds. Scheffler's first victory came at the Phoenix Open February 13th. He had to birdie 4 of his last 6 holes just to sneak into a playoff. Patrick Cantlay basically gave it away in the end, and Scheffler wins. 3 weeks later at the Arnold Palmer Invitational, both Victor Hovland and Billy Horschel stumbled big time at the end, and Scheffler was the last man standing, didn't even have to break par on Sunday. His second win. Okay, 3 weeks after that, even more impressive. The WGC Match Play brings in almost all the best players in the world. 7 matches for Scheffler, 7 wins, and becomes #1 in the world. So here we were this weekend, and almost nobody, I mean nobody, was talking about Scottie Scheffler, because again, this just does not happen. And here's the thing, once Friday afternoon hit, Scheffler never really let anybody in this golf tournament. It was the hardest event in the world to win every year, and the man was able to 4-putt on the last hole and still won by 3. I mean, that is unbelievable, Sherry.